whatever students' plans are for their time after sixth form, one of the most useful tools at their disposal is this site called Unifrog. The name is misleading. It's not just about universities. It has now just as much for people applying for apprenticeships or going straight into the world of work. Students have been on it several times, right the way through from when they were in year 11. Parents can also get on. If you go to unifrog.org and then when it asks you for a form code when you're registering, if you just type in Freeman Parents, that will get you in. I'm going to just demonstrate a few of the tools that you can use on Unifrog that are very, very helpful for students. So I'll just come out of this and go into Unifrog. So when you log in, it will look like this. It will be a page personalised to you, and there'll be a number of tools at the top. Careers Library, Subjects Library and Know-How Library are useful for early research. So if you know that you want to get a career in a particular field, like working with animals, for example, there are lots and lots of video clips and guides that will talk you through the wide range of careers that might suit you. Equally, if you don't know what field you want to get into, you can type in the subjects you're currently studying in the sixth form and it will suggest careers that might feed off those. Subjects Library is actually more for university research as a way of finding subjects that might be suitable, that you might find interesting based on your personality. The Know-How Library is a particularly good one. It's mostly video clips. I'll just go in here. So where are we? UK Apprenticeship, for example. In the UK Apprenticeship Guide, they have got guides that are specifically about apprenticeships in certain fields. They've got information about how to apply. They've got information about the finance side of apprenticeships, so how much they will cost to do effectively for the training, so how much of your salary will be not given to you because it will be held back for training, and how to apply, and advice about how to cope with writing a good CV and how to cope with the admissions procedures. So very, very useful site there. Lots about UK apprenticeships. In the World of Work section, students might be interested if they're thinking of going directly into employment. This is a guide for how to get into certain sectors of the economy, but also more general things about, again, how to get your CV looking great, and what the assessment centre type activities are that you might have to do. So lots of information there for students at the early stages of research. I'll go back one stage to that main page. There are also two tests down here which I've suggested to students that they have a go at if they haven't done so already. The personality profile and interests profile. If they're really casting around and not sure what they might want to do after sixth form, personality profile is not a bad place to start. It will make a few suggestions at the end of asking you a load of questions about yourself. These three sections here are more to do with the university, so I'll gloss over those, but if you're interested, there is an equivalent video presentation about how to use those sites in the university side, the UCAS side of things. I'll come back in a minute to the apprenticeship search facility. That's that pink one there. What I'd like to show you is the CV Builder, which is a really good tool. Now, with the CV Builder, the Unifrog is asking students a number of standard questions that will help to create a good-looking CV. With each section, so for example, for the personal introduction, if you click on Edit It because you want to write something, it'll give you a few suggestions for the kind of language that you could use in that part of your CV. And then you write your first draft, you save it as a first draft. You can make as many drafts as you want, and it will save all of those for you to look back at later on. It's got places where you can write about the competencies, so it's got a list of competencies like teamwork and leadership, things like that, and you can give examples of when you've displayed those that can then feature in your CV. Any work experience you've had, your education, and other interests, and then your references. Once you've put something in those sections, you can then, go up to the top again, you can then preview what it might look like. So this would be the CV that is produced for you. Literally, this takes about 10 minutes to produce a quite decent looking CV. When you're happy with it, if you click push to locker, it just means it'll be very easy for you to find next time you come onto Unifrog, because there's this tab at the top that says locker. There's my CV now. It's just querying it because I've already pushed this one to the locker. Okay, so CV Builder, if you haven't got a working CV, really good thing to get going on this side of the summer holiday. I'll just go back to the home section. And I said I was going to show the apprenticeship search tool. Students have had this demonstrated already to them, so this is mainly for parents that I'm showing it now. If you click on the start, it'll tell you a little bit about apprenticeships to begin with. So some of this is in my presentation anyway on apprenticeships, about the different levels of apprenticeships. It will then ask you for a keyword. So let's say I want to do an apprenticeship something in the business world. Now there are 38 variations of apprenticeships to do with business, so I can click on up to 10 of these at a time. I might be interested in knowing about accounting, business and administration, maybe customer service, financial service, human resources, insurance, maybe a bit of management. So I've got 7 there. I'm going to click on those, and it's going to tell me that I've set it as a default to the school postcode, so within 1 mile of Freeman College, within 10 miles of Freeman College, there is 1 vacancy currently. So I can see immediately I'm going to have to be prepared to travel a little bit further for apprenticeships than I might otherwise have thought. So I'm going to say that I'm prepared to travel up to 20 miles, which means that there are now 49 currently available vacancies to do with business. I'm going to click next. And it's now sorted all of those 49 into 3 columns. The left hand are the ones that would effectively be a step down. Once I finish 6th form, I don't want to be going back to do apprenticeships that are the equivalent of GCSE level. These ones are the equivalent of A levels. So that would be a sideways step after my 6th form years, and that's okay because I may well be doing an apprenticeship in something I have no experience in. Or it might be that I can find some really good apprenticeships that are higher or degree level apprenticeships in the local area. Okay, there aren't so many of those, but they are coming on stream. I can rank these. I can say that I'm most interested, for example, in my weekly wage. I could rank them by how much they're paying, or I could rank them by how much the people taking the apprenticeships recommend them. Okay, I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to then filter them, and I'm going to say, yes, I'm happy for them to be within 20 miles. Because I'm doing early research, it doesn't matter when the start dates are, I'm just trying to see what's out there. But I'm going to say I'm only interested in apprenticeships for now. Okay, so that will limit it a little bit, but not massively. I'm not looking at traineeships, which are generally shorter, maybe 2 to 6 months. So I'm now going to select a few of these. I'm going to ignore the GCSE equivalent ones. I'm going to go for one of KPMG I've heard of, PwC I've heard of. Look at a few of these. I am fairly randomly selecting these at this point. And I've picked 9, I could pick up to 10, and then I go next. And at this point, firstly, it shows me where they are, so that I know that they are all accessible to me. And then it's got information about each of the apprenticeships that I've clicked on. So this is PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, which is generally a financial accounting type apprenticeship. This is a 2-year apprenticeship. I'd have to travel 19 miles for it. They don't have all the information about it by any means. They do say check the website itself, but they do have the UCAS tariff entry requirements. So on my apprenticeship slideshow or apprenticeship presentation, I've explained what the UCAS tariff means. 112 would be the equivalent of BBC in A levels. But it might be if you've done finance, for example, or EPQ, that you can build up the points through those, so you don't need to get grades quite up to the BBC level. So it's now got all of these apprenticeships that I've clicked on, and they now become a shortlist for me. I can remove them from my shortlist at any point, but they are a shortlist that will be saved every time I go into my Unifrog account. Okay, so I just click save when I'm happy that I've got the right ones in the shortlist. And there we go. And the shortlist has been emailed to my account, but also to my tutor's account. Confusingly on here, I'm set up as my own tutor. But your tutor, as a student, your tutor will also be involved in this, just so that when you get a chance, when you next see your tutor, you can have conversations with them about your plans after sixth form. Okay, so I'll just go back home. Just to remind you then that the really useful bits of Unifrog here, the careers library, the subject library, the know-how library, excellent for early research. Personality profile and interest profile, very good if you are not sure at this stage what you might be interested in doing after sixth form. The apprenticeship search tool is excellent. It's got where it claims to have all of the apprenticeships that are currently advertised in the country. Normally there's about a week's delay between an apprenticeship being advertised and it appearing on Unifrog, but in the grand scheme of things that's not bad, and it's a very, very good sort of one-stop shop for looking at apprenticeships in the area. And then that other tool down at the bottom here is the CV builder, which is really a very quick way of producing quite a professional looking CV. Okay, so that's Unifrog. As I said, there is an equivalent presentation for using Unifrog for UCAS research, so do have a look at that if you're considering university as well.